Okay, you sent him a link?
Yes.
Okay, well he's standing by, so he should be on any second with us.
Okay.
Like literally any second.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just Yeah, he sent me an email and he said, haven't heard. Oh good, I have no idea why you want me to Okay, wait.
As you're talking about him, there he is.
Oh good,
Hey
I'm
there.
so glad. Oh my God. Okay, so let me do the full intro so people know who you are.
Are they going to
Okay.
be seeing me? I didn't shower. I feel terrible.
Well, they're not gonna be
No, we
smelling
can't
you.
we can't see you at all.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no one's gonna be smelling you. Don't worry about it.
I kind of spaced, but I'm here. I'm here. So
Excellent. Okay, so our guest tonight is one of my favorite people. I've had him on pretty much every incarnation of this show we've had. He's a major TV writer. He was executive producer of Family Guy. He worked on American Dad, The Orville. He is currently president of the Writers Guild of America, and there's some scandal going on there. So we'll talk about that. But David, shame on me for not knowing this. I didn't realize you have a special talent. You're an expert. You're a Star Trek scholar and you've written extensively on it. Please welcome David Goodman to the show. Hi,
thank you.
David.
Cooper, I don't know how you missed that about Star Trek, but yes, I am. I'm an expert.
I have never ever asked you about that after all this. How do I not know this about you?
I don't know. I don't think you were doing your reporting. Good reporting. It's your fault. It's not my fault.
That's a good point. Yeah. It's not for you to bring up. You're not supposed to go like, by the way, Cooper, hi, bigger thing about me that you need to know.
Forget Family Guy. I know everything about Star Trek.
Well, that's actually how I got my job at Family Guy. I was between me. This is back in like 1999. Was between me and another writer, and the other writer was not a Star Trek fan, and Seth is a giant Star Trek fan. So that literally was the tipping point, I think, for Seth hiring me. I owe my career to that interest. So.
That's so interesting. Like it's such odd things that like connect people to each other. I've had that before too. Like I had a boss once that we were completely different generations, but yet he was a big Rugrats fan. And for some reason, like every morning I would wake up on Saturday morning, watch Rugrats, eat pancakes. And I walk into his office and it was like really awkward. He was just sort of like an awkward guy, but he had Rugrats things everywhere. And I was like, oh, let's talk Rugrats. And it was such a random thing, but he was like, I like you. You're a Rugrats girl.
That's there was I actually wrote a couple years ago for Paramount. I wrote the live action Rugrats movie.
Oh my God. Okay,
But
now
they haven't made it. And
okay.
And they've moved on to other writers. So it's not my project anymore. So
right. I'm heartbroken. So I thought, because I did not realize you were a Star Trek, because I was so interested in what was going on with the Writers Guild and Family Guy and all the other things. There's so much about you. You just can't get to it all. That's what it is.
I'm an onion. I'm an onion. Between layers and layers, and then you're like, it's smelly and you're done. Why did I bother with that onion?
It's a good one. But I thought I have a short Star Trek quiz for you that's supposed to be the hardest Star Trek quiz ever.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Question number 1. Captain Sisko had a love of what sport?
Baseball.
So easy. I'm not even going to give you, I was going to give you like 4 choices. I'm not giving you any choices.
No,
I'm just
don't
asking.
give them the choices.
No choices. No. Okay.
Right.
Question number 2. Who is Captain Sisko?
Captain Sisko is commander of Deep Space Nine.
Oh, okay. Because I'm not the expert that you are.
Wow.
What is a phrase that Borg often say?
Resistance is futile.
That's it. You're right.
I don't think this is a hard test at all.
Not for him. Not for him.
No.
It doesn't feel very hard. No.
Okay. What is it?
Turn off your show at this point? I was like,
no, they're playing along.
Can you hear them moving the garbage cans outside the window? That's another thing I'm worried about.
Usually what they do. No, can't hear.
No, we're good.
Good.
Okay, there's only a couple more questions here in this very, very difficult quiz.
Yeah.
What is the name of Captain Picard's Borg?
He is Locutus of Borg.
That is very
Wow,
good. Very
he is
good. Okay. I've got two more for you. When Kevin Riley was under the PSI 2000 virus,
Mhm.
what Elvis song did he repeatedly sing?
Take Me Home Again, Kathleen.
I don't even think that's a song.
It is a song, and
It is a song.
in
Okay.
a million years, I'm like, he's not going to get this one.
Mm.
Okay, here's the last one. You probably know this because this is one of those like really interesting facts. Who starred as the captain in the pilot of Star Trek, the original series?
That was an actor named Jeffrey Hunter.
You do not disappoint, my friend. You do not disappoint.
I did not disappoint. Jeffrey Hunter is best known for his role in the John Wayne film The Searchers, which is a great movie, and I recommend your audience.
And see, that's why I said if you wanted to bring some Mean Girls trivia to throw back at me, I'm always open to that.
I only saw Mean Girls once. I loved it, but I don't remember it. So that's the other. I don't remember enough Scooby trivia. So
what you are to Star Trek, I am of Mean Girls, and I worked for years for Cosmo Girl and She Knows, writing Mean Girls quizzes.
Wow. All
yeah.
Right.
So
that's. If I was to go look online for Mean Girls quizzes, they were written by you. Is that?
Yes. In fact, if you Google the hardest Mean Girl quiz for She Knows, that comes up, and that is still one that like BuzzFeed has used it and whatever, because they're really hard questions. It's for the true Mean Girls fan.
One question I have about Family Guy is how can it still be, even the latest episode makes me laugh like I'm 10 years old? How can they keep that still going after all these seasons, still coming up with the funny gags?
What's the special sauce? Yeah.
I think you're just an easy audience, Anthony. I don't think it's any, it's speaking truthfully, I don't work there anymore, but obviously I worked with most of the writers who were on that staff were writers who I worked with on that staff, and they're the meanest group of people who've ever existed. So that I think, but I was trying to be funny, but you didn't laugh. So
because I was like, no, because we're in radio, so we're like, let's dish.
But they're really incredibly funny people. And so when you say what makes you laugh, it's what makes them laugh. In order for it to get on the air, they have to make each other laugh. It is a tough group of people to get to laugh. So if they come up with something that's funny to them, it's likely to be funny out in the world. That's not always the case, but it was often the case because it's a tough audience. It's the first audience for any joke is the Family Guy's writer's room. And if it doesn't make that room laugh, it doesn't get on the show. So that's,
But are you just being humble? Because I feel like you really made those characters so three-dimensional that we know them. I think part of it is also that because things are funny, but we also know them. Like there's certain things that are very Stewie things, for example.
Well, I think that, it really does start with creating something that Seth created. That Seth is, MacFarlane's a genius. It really annoys me. He's the, it's just how it is. I mean, he created this thing. It comes out of his, came out of his mind, came out of his experience. He has this sort of incredible sense of humor, and he created those things. But then he gathered a staff, and I was one of them, and we added to it, and it keeps going. And
no, you were executive producer. That's a whole other level. That's not just staff.
Yeah, well, again, I'm not going to take credit for this thing that Seth created, but I definitely helped him. I definitely worked with him. We collaborated. I mean, and I really enjoyed working there, and I learned a lot from him, and he says he learned a lot from me, so that's good. But no, we were collaborators for the 6 or 7 years that I ran the show with him. We did some great television.
And what'd you do on the show that you're like, that was me? I did that.
To me, the thing that I never look. There probably are some individual jokes that I liked that I came up with. I think to me, some of the stories that we came up with, some of the episodes that we did, the episode that I wrote, Stewie Kills Lois, which was our 100th episode, I'm very proud of, and that was my.
I'm very proud of that one.
That was my.
So like at the Seder table, your mother's there, and she's like, "I'm so proud of my son. He came up with Stewie Kills Lois."
She never said she was proud of me.
Oh.
I had a viral. My first viral tweet was about my late mother. That just. But anyway, you go look for it.
What was it? What was it? What'd you say? What'd you tweet?
Well, I was registering for COVID vaccine, which I encourage everybody to do, and it said put in your occupation, and I wasn't really thinking that they were looking to see if I was a teacher or first responder or something like that. So I put in writer, and the website came back and says, please enter a valid occupation. And so my tweet, which went viral, my tweet was, I guess the COVID vaccine website is being run by my dead mother.
Nice.
I think I retweeted that like 20 times. That was my favorite thing ever. I'm glad you told it. That's just crazy. But you know what? I feel like that's my philosophy. You know, people are like, I'm like you, where I've done a lot of things. I mean, not at your level, obviously, but a lot of stuff. I've published a bunch of books. I've done whatever I've done. But my people like how I say disapproving mother. I feel like disapproving mother is the biggest motivator in the world.
It's not. I don't know that my mother ever said to me, I think that trying to make my mother laugh was probably something that was always his goal, and she never said I was funny. The most she ever said was, "Oh, that was cute," which is like death.
Right.
So yes, I think that you're striving. You're striving for some kind of approval or something that you never get, but that you seek from strangers.
Right. I think that's what successful people have in common. I love that about you, actually.
So what are you working on now?
Well, we're finishing shooting. We had to shut down the Orville for COVID, so we're back shooting the rest of our third season, and that'll be finished sometime this summer. And then I'm out trying to sell other projects, which is interesting in the age of COVID, in that you're doing it always by Zoom.
Right.
But seems to be a lot of interest in animation at all these streaming platforms, and so I'm hopeful that there'll be something new. But that's part of the business, is just getting out and hustling.
Right, of course. And did I read? So explain to everybody about the Writers Guild, the whole thing that went on.
You sure you want to do that?
Give me like an encapsulated. I'm fascinated by it. Just give me like an encapsulated version, because in this whole situation, you ended up firing your agents. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, you did. So
okay.
So basically, it's ended. But for the last about 2 years, the Writers Guild has been in a conflict with the agencies who represent us, and to try to make it as simple as possible. Basically, the agencies were making money off of the fact that they were representing writers, and they were making excessive amounts of money through something called a packaging fee. And this is a thing that has been around for a number of years, decades, in fact, and the agencies would get money directly from the studios for representing a writer. And sometimes they were making actually more money off the writer's work than the writer was. And which was just fascinating, that this system just existed.
Right.
It ended up being this sort of cost of doing businesses with the studios. The studios would just agree to it, and there was sort of a fixed price for this thing. And if you created a show like, I don't know, Friends or or Everybody Loves Raymond, or some big show, ER, whatever. Your agent, these agencies were making millions and millions and millions of dollars off of it, and they hadn't necessarily done any work to even sell the show or to, it had this term packaging fee because it was this idea that they were packaging the writer with an actor or director, but often they weren't even doing that. Most of the time they weren't. They were just getting all this money. And then there was money coming out of the budget of the show that was going to the agencies. So through this, we wanted an end to that. And we said to the agencies, you have to end this. They initially said no. And we said, we will fire you if you don't agree to this. We did. And after 2 years, every agency has essentially accepted this. And we are now moving back forward with them. They're our partners again. There may be hard feelings from some of them, but for the most part, writers are back with their agents. Agencies are back in business with writers, and we're moving on. But it was a big fight.
Wow.
And it was a big victory for them.
I'm so happy you guys won it. And I mean, shame on them for having harsh feelings because they were literally stealing from you. They weren't doing the writing. All they did was basically make an introduction, and then you did all the work.
I think that for most agents, there are no hard feelings. They're just happy to have their writer clients back there. I'm saying there may be some hard feelings. I don't know. But no, they most of the agents that I've been in touch with, they just wanted to be back with their writer clients. There were just a few agents at the top of these agencies who didn't want to give up this money, but they did. And because they recognized that their business is around writers. So.
But instead of stopping the practice, did they also write you guys a big check and be like, here's all the money we stole from you?
I guarantee that's a no.
We did not get any big checks.
No. Oh.
But everybody's fine.
Okay, everybody's fine. Okay, that's good. Well, you're living. I mean, you're living in a tiny little place with the trash right outside. What do you live by a dump? I'm worried. I'm concerned. That's not fair. Your agent is probably up in Beverly Hills.
Does it feel tiny? Does this room feel really small?
Yes, it does. It feels really tiny.
I am in a corner of this room.
Okay.
The house is fine. It's a fine place.
So do you still make money off of syndication of Family Guy?
Yes. Yeah, there's through the Writers Guild, we have what's called a residual. And if you've written a script for Family Guy, you and that episode continues to air somewhere, you will get money for it.
Yeah, because there's like 15 channels that play Family Guy at my house.
Family Guy's a good credit to get residuals off of, absolutely.
And not just this country, because I mean, this again, hardly the same thing, but I was the expert on the Tyra show. I'll get a check out of nowhere because Tyra was running in like Afghanistan or something bizarre like that.
And there's funny, I met her once, and I guess her mother was a huge Family Guy fan, and she said, she found out I wrote for Family Guy, and we did this bit. It was off of that bit where she had with that clip where she yells at the contestant on
and then she turns into like a velociraptor. Yeah,
that was the bit. That was the bit on Family Guy, you know it. And so she tells me the story. Yeah, my mom's a big fan. She calls me one day and she says, "Tyra, you're a dinosaur on Family Guy."
I finally made it.
That's right. Oh my God, that's awesome.
She seemed to have a good sense of humor, but I don't know if she did or not. But she seemed to.
How many jokes and episodes laid on the floor because it wouldn't pass the censor?
But on all the shows, like every show you work on,
it's different for different shows. I mean, I think that when you get to Family Guy, the package is clearly labeled. That like the Fox network wants Family Guy to be Family Guy. It wants it to be edgy. It wants it to push the envelope. That's why people watch.
Right.
So there's always sort of a conversation with the censors and a drawing of the line, and it's always this sort of conversation of trying to get stuff in that maybe shouldn't be on television, but so it's but there are probably some, I'm not thinking of that. I'm blanking on them right now, but there probably are a lot of really great jokes that we couldn't get on the air for one reason or another. Often the reason we can't do it is because of rights issues. Like we did this whole Monopoly gag episode, and we couldn't do it because the Monopoly people
Really
would have sued us. Yeah, so.
That's interesting because they wouldn't feel like we've like Monopoly. Who plays board games anymore? They should be like, thank God, somebody knows who we are.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can get past George Lucas.
Well, Lucas, I mean, George Lucas was such a gift. They would when we were doing those Star Wars things, we started with doing those gags, and he said yes to anything except if it was sexual. There was anything, they said, and then finally said, well, we're doing all these gags. Why don't we just do episodes? And then we did the first Star Wars episode, and it was this most heartbreaking thing for me was we went up to Lucasfilm to screen the episode for everybody who worked at Lucasfilm. And then the day that George Lucas was going to watch it with us, it was Yom Kippur, so I had to go back. So I didn't get to listen to my two religions were fighting with each other.
You're like, I'm Jewish. Heavy on the ish today.
But but he was such a supporter of it. It's I think it's different now that Disney owns it. I don't know that they're doing too many Star Wars gags over there now, but George Lucas was a gift to us.
Yeah, those episodes were brilliant.
Yeah, they were brilliant. They're iconic. I mean, even people that didn't know much about Family Guy at least know those episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was against doing the first one.
You
really?
were?
Yeah. I thought, well, Star Wars parody. What are we doing? And Seth's like, no, we're doing it. And I was completely wrong.
You were wrong.
It was like a half an hour. We were going to do a normal episode length. And Alex Sulkin, who wrote the first script, he wrote it long. He says, can we just make this an hour? It's like, no, we're not making it an hour. And Seth said, no, let's make it an hour. I totally made it an hour. I was wrong. There too. But then I co-wrote the third one. So I was.
Okay. It took them that long to get you on board.
No, I was always on board.
Okay.
I was just like, I don't think this is a good idea. And I was wrong. Sometimes you're wrong.
Right.
That's great.
You can admit it.
Brian as Wookiee. Fine. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, this all happened after you left, so I'm really curious what you think. What about like the fact that they now are that they've replaced the Cleveland voice with somebody who's Black? Did that occur to you while you were there? That we got a white guy playing this Black guy that might be an issue later on.
Interestingly, no. I mean, but I mean, I think that's part of what's happening in the business, and it's a good thing. I mean, at the core of it's a good thing is that it's an awakening of people, for about their own biases, about their own maybe unrecognized bigotries, and Mike Henry created that character, so there really wasn't any kind of thought of like he created it. It's like, of course he's going to do it. And then, you start to see as time goes on, maybe with blinders on, maybe we're not seeing really what that we're doing something that is discriminatory, that is keeping somebody from doing a role that they should be doing. And so to me, I mean, I applaud how Mike handled it. I applaud how the Seth and the staff handled it. It's tough. It was a tough situation, I think, because again, Mike created a character that a lot of people liked.
Right.
But I think it was a good thing that people's minds are opening and that you're understanding your unconscious bias. And
right. It's a very good point.
You got to make an extra effort. As a white person, you got to make an extra effort. Because we have had it a little easier. I mean, I'm Jewish, so we didn't have it fully easier. But
me too. Jewish and a woman, so like not as easy as but still white, so easy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's not. No one. And I recognize, the advantages that I've had as a writer. being white and Jewish
Right.
in the business. And it's important to make that extra effort, I think.
Right.
You had some really good Jewish jokes though in Family Guy.
Well, there was one joke that I was against. I didn't come up with it, but I was against it. But we put it in, which was this horribly offensive joke, which I will tell you now.
Please do.
This writer came up with this gag of, a Jewish guy at the train at a train platform, London $20, Auschwitz $10. And I was like, this is horrible. This is offensive. But we put it in for a table read. We put it in for a table read, and nobody laughed. So it's like it didn't win. So that to me is like, okay, good.
Right.
We don't have to do it because you have to sometimes cross the line to figure out where the line is.
Yes, that's a great point.
But you okayed the car as a Jew flattening machine.
I wasn't there for that.
See, okay, there you go. So he wasn't the EP then, so it's okay.
I was not. I did not. Yes.
Now, first of all, how old were you when you realized you were funny?
Well, that's a good. I don't know that you ever want to say that you're funny.
Really?
As soon as somebody says, we'd
never learned that, have we, Cooper?
No. We're like, we're funny.
We're freaking hilarious.
You really do want someone else to say that. Because as soon as you say it, then you're probably not funny.
I'm gonna hold and die before somebody says that.
I think I realized that I wanted to be funny in elementary school but I would say things that people would laugh at, and they thought I was being funny. And that's half of my career. Half of my career as a writer has been accidentally being funny, but not saying, "Oh, I wasn't being funny," just sort of accepting the laugh. And sort of learning from that, but it was more a desire to want to be funny, to want to try to be funny. That's probably, and that goes back to 4th or 5th grade, where I said something that everybody laughed at, and I was being completely serious.
Right.
and that still happens all the time. I say something, everybody assumes, "Oh my God, David, stop joking with me."
No, I really did just cut my finger off. I really did. There's blood here.
Hilarious.
No, go with the joke.
Oh, you're so
Don't
funny.
Go with the joke.
Right. But why writing and not stand up? Because when you do get to the point, you're like, I could probably do this. Why did you decide to write jokes for other people and not for yourself? Because usually, especially, don't take this the wrong way, especially your generation. Your generation was very quick to get on a stage and do stand up and was good at it.
Well, I think the thing that I've always known this, which I think a lot of people don't, is stand up is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are great stand-ups, I have such admiration for them because they've done so much work to make it seem like they're talking off the cuff.
Right.
And I have done versions of that, like in giving speeches or summer camp or whatever, and the amount of work involved, and then the way it consumes you, the way it consumed me anyway. Anytime I have to give a speech and I'm worried about being funny, it'll consume me for weeks, and then doesn't matter how many laughs I get afterwards. I'm like, that was awful. I fucked that up. So when you're just doing it on a page, it's on a page and it's not you, and it's not. I think that the great stand-ups really they completely live it, and I guess I don't want to do that. So, and I don't know that I would have been any good either as a stand-up. So that was it.
Well, and maybe you're also not a narcissist. Because I don't know if you saw this, but so Dr. Drew has this really interesting colleague named Mark Young, and the two of them together did this amazing study that only they could have done, because Dr. Drew has access to actors, musicians, writers,
Mhm.
It was actors, musicians, writers, reality people, and stand-ups. Okay. And he tested them all on narcissism. And he wrote a book, I think it's called like The Mirror Effect or something like that. And it's literally like he saw that reality show stars were off the charts with narcissism.
Interesting.
Next on the list was stand-up comics.
I mean, I'm not going to analyze anybody. I think you've got to want to be on stage. You want to be in front of people to be a good stand-up. I like being alone.
Right.
I like being alone in my room for most of the day. So it's
in your little small room.
Oh wait, I'm noticing in this picture. I'm noticing this is a painting that my son did of my wife cutting my hair during COVID.
Oh my God, he's
Wow,
really
that's
talented.
He's good talented.
That's really good.
Yeah.
You don't look very happy.
What are you doing with your hands there?
All right, take it easy.
No. It looks like you're breaking.
In my lap.
No. I didn't mean in a sexual way. It looked like you were breaking something. Like,
No, I
you know,
wasn't. They were just in my lap.
Oh, okay. All right. But he's quite good.
Does your wife cut hair for a living?
No, she does not.
Oh, that's scary.
Again, it was COVID. I wasn't going anywhere.
Right. I mean, COVID's the best thing that happened to you. You like to be alone. Everything's on Zoom now.
It's going to be much harder for me to go back than for many people. I don't like saying this because it's a tragedy and people's lives have been so negatively affected.
Of course.
However, my life, if I can continue a version of this would be great. So.
Yeah. No, us too.
we love being locked in a house. That was our goal in life, was to be locked in a house and not around anybody else. We hate people, so being alone is just fine with us.
Well, David, thank you so much for joining us, and we're really excited for the third season of the Orville. And you're fascinating, and I love talking to you. And sorry I didn't know about the Star Trek thing, but I'll come up with better questions. I'll come up with better questions next time.
Now you know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. Great to see you guys.
Wow, he's great.
Isn't he? He's always so full of terrific stories. And he's so open, and he's such I love him. I love his, I wish that he lives in LA, but I wish we lived in the same city. I would just be like following him everywhere. Like he'd be like, this girl's annoying. She's stalking me. Like, I adore him. I just think he's funny and talented, and I envy his friends.
Yeah. I just don't know how they keep making Family Guy so funny. I mean, even this week I was giggling out loud.
Right.
To Family Guy, and they got me dialed in exactly what makes me laugh.
Well, the weird thing, if you think of it like this, a lot of the writers now grew up watching Family Guy because some of them are super young. So imagine that, like you're a young writer watching Family Guy, and that's shaping your humor,
Right.
So I think that's kind of interesting. So listen, I sent you a picture today of Rami Malek and Rachel Bilson. I want you to put it up for our Twitch audience to see. But I want to discuss it because I have a lot of issues going on here with this particular photograph. Okay. So whether you know it or not, Rachel Bilson, do you know who Rachel Bilson is, by the way?
She was on, not Melrose Place, but what was that other show? She's very hot.
Yeah. She was on the OC.
The OC. There you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's done a ton of movies. She was she's the hot girl in everything. The hot girl in Jumper, the hot girl.
Been a hot girl in a lot of things for a while, though. I mean, the OC, she was the hot girl, but she really hasn't been in much lately.
No, not since 2019, which is interesting. But she was in Nashville. She was in Heart of Dixie, How I Met Your Mother. But she was best known probably for the OC.
Right.
And then Rami Malek, who, he won an Oscar for his role as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody, but you might know him from Mr. Robot.
That's where I know him.
Yeah.
Did
you watch Mr. Robot when that was on?
No, I don't know what that is.
You should watch that. It's a really good series. That's how we were introduced to Rami Malek. Like, that's where he kind of, he'd already been working before that, but that's where he came from for the rest of us, for people that.
Is he on Letterkenny?
No.
Then I don't know.
Then you don't know who he is. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So here's the photo.
So what you may not know is that Rami Malek and Rachel Bilson went to high school together. They both grew up in the LA area, Torrance, I think. And they were really, really close in high school. They were in theater together. They were total nerds. They went to New York. This is them in New York in, whatever year it was. I'm not quite sure how old they are.
92.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. 92.
I'm looking at the clothes. I'm looking at this guy's jeans over here. Those are definitely 92 jeans. I'm looking at the lady hair and her glasses. Yeah. That's got to be 92, 93.
So they were super tight, and they had starred in The Crucible together in high school. They each played the male, female, whatever. And they were super tight. Here they are in New York. I guess they had gone to see some Broadway stuff together. They were just like best friends.
Mm-hmm.
So she did a throwback Thursday where she posted this photo on her Instagram. And, she's one of these like stars that she's on Instagram and then she goes on with her life. She says she never checks her DMs. It could take her weeks before she's back on Instagram. She happened to be looking at her DMs later that day, and she got a message directly from Rami Malek that said, I want you to take this photo down. I'm a very private person. I don't want people to see this.
Mm-hmm.
So she takes the photo down and deletes it. And that should have been that. That should have been the end of it. We should have never heard about this again. But she goes on a podcast and starts talking about this photo and this experience and what had happened with Rami Malek. So this is savage, because if you have a photo of, I think he looks adorable there, but I guess he wasn't the image he is now. Do you know what I mean? Like, he looks a little different.
He had some weight on him.
Yeah, but I think he looks adorable, and they were in high school, but he doesn't like this photo. I mean, the necklace is a little cheesy. Maybe that's what it is. But so instead of just taking it down and never speaking of it again, she goes on a podcast and talks all about this. So what is everybody doing all day today but Googling this photo? I mean, I found it in 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is, the photo that Rami Malek did not want everyone to see, and the story that nobody knew except for her because it was private. She goes and she tells the story. So I'm wondering, is she jealous that he's so successful, that he won an Oscar, that he's this, I mean, he's a Hollywood darling. I mean, he's been in everything now and everyone wants to work with him. And like you said, she hasn't really worked for years. I mean, she did a couple things in 2019 here and there, but she's not a sought after actress the way he's a sought after actor. He has an Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
No, she doesn't. So it felt vindictive to me, because I thought, he doesn't want this photo out there. Why are you telling this story? Like, I don't know. I questioned why she told the story, and she knew we were all going to Google the photo and see it. And it's almost a way to shame him and be like, look, he was fat in high school, but I was so hot. It's like when you post that photo where you look amazing, but your friends look terrible.
Mm.
I don't know.
No,
I was disturbed by this.
No, here's my side to it, is he wanted her to take this photo down because his significant other said, I don't want that photo on her Instagram.
Oh, of the two of them looking all chummy.
Right. Is he straight?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. So, because he just had a baby, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So his wife or girlfriend or whatever now called him up and said, hey, by the way, get that photo off that chick's Instagram. No guy's going to say, take my photo down. He doesn't look bad. He's with a hot chick. He's the style of of 92. So no, he doesn't have an issue. She has an issue with it. So that's why he had to take. No, guy, I'm not calling any of my exes saying take that photo down off that site.
I just think
I don't care.
Yeah, but I don't think that he's on Instagram all that much. And I know that he follows Rachel Bilson because, like I said, they're old friends. But the fact that he contacted her, I feel like somebody else saw it.
Yeah, actually, I think her friends said, by the way, your husband, boyfriend, whatever, is on Instagram with a Throwback Thursday. Get it taken off.
Okay, so you don't think that he doesn't like the way he looks in that picture, and she posted it on purpose to shame him, to be like, yeah, he has an Oscar, but look at him in high school. Because I feel like that's something that, I have to tell you, like, I wouldn't normally have this opinion on actors, except for the fact that I've worked around so many. When I was on Tyra, we had actors on all the time. When I was doing Confessions of a Teen Idol, that was the concept of the show, that we were there with people that used to be famous, that want to be famous again. So I feel like I've spent, and you and I have interviewed people so much over the years. I feel like I've spent enough time with people in the industry that you can tell when somebody is a little bit bitter. You can tell when their career didn't go like they wanted it to go, or they had their moment and now it's over.
I think that has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
I think it's his girlfriend saying, she's much hotter than I am. Get that taken down.
But she isn't hotter.
I bet she is. Rachel's pretty damn hot. No,
okay, so
pretty
Rami,
damn hot.
That's great. But Rami Malek's girlfriend is the one who was starring in Lucy Boynton is her name. She starred in the Queen movie with him, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, what's her name? Lucy what?
Lucy Boynton. She's that gorgeous.
I will tell you right now. Okay, she's cute.
No, she's not cute. She is gorgeous, and she has the body to match. I mean, she is stunning. Like every picture. And here's the thing: for me, it's all about the body language. Google Rami Malek girlfriend or Rami Malek Lucy Boynton, and you will see in every single photo he looks like he won the lottery. Like she's just like posing, and he's like, this girl's with me. She's with me. Every photo, he's like staring at her. Like he cannot believe his luck. He can't believe that Lucy Boynton is in love with him and wants to have like every day he wakes up and probably looks at her in bed and goes, this is my girlfriend. Like I get to be with her.
Yeah, he looks like in this photo, he looks like he's from Middle Earth.
Well, don't look at that photo. Just do me a favor. Google.
I'm looking at this photo here first. He looks like standing next to her. He looks like he's from Middle Earth. He should have been cast in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe as a gremlin. I mean, look at him compared to her.
But do what I'm saying. Do it. Google them together. Google Rami Malek girlfriend, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like all the photos of them together is like he has just this grin on his face. Like this can't be. Just hit images.
21.
Yeah, that's it. Now hit images on there. Okay, so if you look. Okay, so
he looks like he's from Middle Earth.
But look at him. Look at the look on his face in that one photo where he looks like he cannot believe this girl is with him. And the one
can't either.
But like he's so proud to be with her, and that's not her. So wait, so go back a second because you got to see like the photo. That's them in the movie. The photo. Look at him. Every single picture, he's like, I'm with her. Like, this is my girlfriend guy. Like this, look at this chick I got. Every single picture. He just cannot. Look at this one. Look at this one. Stop right here for a second. Look at the way he's looking at her. She's looking straight out of the camera. He's looking at her with this smile on his face. Like she's.
Oh yeah. Any guy's going to look like that.
Glowing.
I mean, look at that. He lives in the ground.
Yeah. Look. He's leaning into her. Like I'm with her. Like I'm not just photobombing this picture. I'm supposed to be here.
He looks like he's part frog.
Yeah.
like his great grandfather was a frog. I mean, look at her.
She looks like she's made out of porcelain. Like somebody sculpted her perfectly, and someone else came in and said, "No, the eyes are a little bigger, nose a little smaller." Got it.
She goes in for movies, and they say, "No, you're going to make everybody look like a frog. Get out. We got to get somebody uglier." I mean, no. Look at that. That's no. Right. But I'm saying Rachel is very hot. She's that caliber.
No, yeah, she definitely is, but I don't think that Lucy Boynton's insecure. I think it's Rami Malek.
I guarantee she is.
I don't think so. I
think loves frogs.
That's just my opinion on it. I don't know. What else you got going on today?
Okay, the top 10 of iTunes chart for this week.
Okay.
Is very strange.
Okay.
If you look at the top 10 songs for this week, number 10 is Cardi B. Up,
Up, right.
which you can't get out of your head.
It's my favorite song.
Right. Megan Thee Stallion and Maroon 5 is next.
Of course.
Then Spirit in the Sky, Norman Greenbaum.
What?
Then Zombie, the Cranberries.
Okay, those must have been used in a movie or a video game or
It's not
something.
over. It's not over.
Okay.
Peaches, the next one from Bieber.
Well, of course. He just got the peach tattoo.
Okay. Who beat Justin Bieber? Bryan Adams, Summer of 69.
What? What?
If this doesn't tell you how bad music is, Summer of 69 sucked when it came out. It is now number 5 on the chart. Number 5.
It wasn't number 5 when it came out. It didn't even make the.
It never made the top 10.
Never made the top 10.
Yeah, in 1985, it peaked out at 15. All right. What beat Bryan Adams? Fleetwood Mac, Dreams.
Still, that's still going?
Number 4.
Oh my God, I can't believe that's still going after that video. This is forever.
It drives me insane. Then you have the Bruno Mars song, Leave the Door Open.
Great
then
song.
Mask Wolf, Astronaut in the Ocean. I don't know what that is. And then Lil Nas X, he's number 1.
Of course.
But Bryan Adams, number 5. Zombie, the Cranberries.
Call me by your name. Is that the name of the song? Lil Nas X.
Yeah, the
Call Me-
Montero, which is
that's people love that.
his Lil Nas X. His real name is Montero,
Right.
so that's why. And he was named after a Mitsubishi Montero, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that about him. That's really rich. Is that where he was conceived? I wonder.
If that was true, then I would have 16 kids. I'll name Montero. But yeah, how strange is that, though?
Well, the dreams thing is from a TikTok video, so that's obviously still going. Because remember, like you and I see stuff when it goes viral, and then weeks later we're over it. But there's other people that are first discovering it, so that's why the Fleetwood Mac song is really popular. So a lot of those songs are either because of TikTok or because of video games.
Not Summer 69. It's never been a TikTok. It barely made the air.
So where did that come from? Was it in a movie? Was it in a TV show? It must be
I think
somewhere.
it's summertime. I think summer's coming.
No one cares about that song. You're not gonna.
Zombie. How the hell is Cranberry Zombie on the chart? That song sucked when it came out.
But that's what I'm
hated
saying.
that
It's got to
song.
be So okay, so let's figure it out. Okay, so Cranberries, Zombie.
Right.
Let's find out where it is now and why it's suddenly making news.
Well, because she died like a year ago.
That was a year ago. So why is this song
I don't know.
still big now?
I don't know. I couldn't stand it when it was new.
I'm trying to figure out. It passed 1 billion views. The song Zombie, the video, passed 1 billion views. Oh, here we go. Why are old songs dominating iTunes charts? Okay, good. Now I'll find out.
Because there's nothing else out right now. Everything that's new sucks. So the old songs do much better.
Okay, so all right, so Astronaut in the Ocean by the Australian rapper Masked Wolf is just huge. It just is. So that's not surprising. But number 2, Zombie, which was released in 1994, and number 3, inexplicably, Summer of 69 from Bryan Adams, that was a hit in 1985. So why would those be big now?
I think it's just summertime.
That's not why. No, because there's better summer songs. Okay,
It's
so
got summer in the title.
Okay, here's
It's got 2 of my favorite things in the title.
69 and summer. All right. Well, okay. So here's some theories about it, according to this particular writer. They're saying that Apple's iTunes is notorious opaque. It's very opaque. Like there's no, like they have rankings without any real metrics to back them up.
But they have metrics. It's downloads. That's the
Right.
metrics.
Okay. So nostalgia and comfort music is brought
Right.
on by the pandemic.
Nobody's comfortable around Zombie.
Okay.
Song screeches in my head.
A lack of star power No, the TikTok effect. That's one thing they're saying.
I get that with Fleetwood Mac. I don't get that with Spirit in the Sky.
No, but it's everything I just said. TikTok, inclusion of these songs in video games, and appearance of these songs in TV shows, movies, and commercials.
Mhm.
So Summer of '69 or Cranberries must be in a video game or a TikTok that's really popular right now,
Right.
or a commercial that we don't know about because we don't watch regular TV. So we don't really know.
Okay, one person that we can always make fun of, and I don't mind making fun of him, and he's in radio, so
Mhm.
it's fun to make fun of him.
Yeah.
Is Dave Ramsey. Can't stand Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
Dave Ramsey, he does a money show,
Yeah. He tells your parents what to do with their money.
but he gives the same advice every show.
Right.
If you've heard one segment of Dave Ramsey, you've heard them all.
You've heard everyone. Yeah.
And little did you know about Dave Ramsey is he pays to be on that radio station. They don't pay him.
That I do know because I worked at WOR in New York, where I was very well aware because he was on right after us. So
Right. But he pays them
to be on the station. Yes.
to be on the station
yes.
because he runs his commercials, sells his Bukkake books or whatever the hell he sells on the air. So it's a long 4-hour commercial for his crap.
That's right.
So he's got a company called Ramsey Solutions. And Ramsey Solutions now is being sued.
Oh, God. What'd he do?
Okay. They fired a woman because she was pregnant.
What? That doesn't.
Okay, here we go.
In 2021? I'm shocked.
You think you're mad now? Wait.
Uh-oh.
Caitlin O'Connor, who used to be an assistant to the Ramsey Solutions for over 4 years, never was disciplined when she announced she was pregnant in June and requested paperwork for maternity leave. She was terminated for her pregnancy because she isn't legally married to her longtime partner, the baby's father.
Whose business is that of anybody's?
So he made headlines not too long ago because he hosted a huge Christmas party during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
He refuses now to let his employees work from home. They have to work at the station. But she was terminated for having premarital sex.
Premarital. At least if you're going to be upset, say the words correctly.
She was terminated for having sex with somebody she wasn't married to.
Oh, but that's none of his business. That's a major lawsuit. Okay. Firing somebody for being pregnant, huge lawsuit. Firing somebody because you don't agree with the status of their relationship, none of your friggin' business. So another huge lawsuit. And by the way, there are pages and pages of Reddits from seasoned financial experts that explain that what Dave Ramsey says are wrong and why it's wrong. They go into specifically like the advice that he gives and why that doesn't work or why that doesn't make sense or why. And it look, it makes sense because he's paying to be on the radio stations. The radio stations haven't brought him on and hired him because he's a fountain of knowledge. The opposite in these Reddit threads, it's like one after another. We're like, okay, so he's talking about low fee index funds. Here's why he's wrong about what those are. Here's why he's wrong about saying this. There's literally pages dedicated to that.
Okay, this is not the first time they have fired somebody for this. They have disciplined at least 12 other employees for having sex before marriage in recent years. The employees were either terminated or resigned before they could be fired.
This is going to be a huge lawsuit. All that money that he allegedly made for people. Yeah, he's gonna need all of that because these people are about to collect every dime of it.
And he's standing on it because he's saying he has a Christian image, and if you have sex outside of marriage, that he can fire you for that.
Right. Okay. So people are not having sex unless they're married. Yeah, that's very, very woke. I mean,
I told you it would. I told you.
It's only that. It's like what world are you that stupid? Do you really think that your employees none of them are having sex if they're not married? Well, I'm not married. Must be a virgin. I'm 40, but I'm a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a moron.
Yeah. So I told you that would. I saw that story today and went. She's gonna love
Yeah,
that.
he's not only is he a horrible human being, but he's like a really horrible human being and a judgmental. And I can't wait till they start finding things about him, like affairs that he's had or having sex outside of his marriage, like getting, having sex before he got. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. Like he's just opening the door for some hacker to find all kinds of stuff about him. So bring it on.
More news today. Another fake vaccine card person who was busted for making fake vaccine cards and selling them. So people are going out and buying fake vaccine cards instead of getting a free vaccine.
I told you that was going to happen. That's why I said don't post your vaccination card. Don't post that stuff. All my friends that keep posting that, it's like, how stupid can you be? Just post the sticker that says I was vaccinated. That's why they give it to you.
I didn't get a sticker though, and I was very proud that I got both of my shots. That's why I posted mine.
But don't post the card. Just post your arm with the Band-Aid on it or something.
They have a copy of somebody else's by now. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's copies out there.
But but they listen, they can link your name and your birth date, and they can create cards in your name, credit cards in your name. They can create fake accounts. They can get
find my name online.
They can get your social security number with your birth date and your name. They can get your social security number.
They can find that online. If they wanted to look hard enough, they can find it.
I don't think so.
That's all online. But anyway, so people are paying for these instead of getting a free one. So
right.
That doesn't make any sense. And what else is in the news? They have vibrators now. You listening up? That can alert you when your food delivery is coming up the stairs.
Oh, I hate when I'm masturbating and I'm also hungry. And I'm like,
and they leave it outside the door and it gets cold.
Right. It's the worst. Like, oh my God, the fact that my dildo can now tell me when my food is here. It's like, why would a woman ever need a boyfriend after that?
Oh, now you're going to be 900 pounds because you're going to be ordering all kinds of food just so your vibrator can let you know that it's here.
If you think I'm not going to buy that dildo, you are wrong, my friend. That vibrator.
Why not? You own all the other ones. So.
As soon as you and I get off, I'm gonna get off. Like I'm going right to Amazon.
Say bye now.
Bye now.